When we bought our house, the old cracked driveway was an eyesore. So I hired a contractor to replace it with a nice paver-style driveway. Textured, durable, and way better looking than the plain concrete everyone else had. It wasn't flashy. It just looked clean and classy. 3 days after the installation, Lorraine, our infamous HOA Karen, came striding across the street like a sheriff in a western. "You didn't get approval for those pavers," she said, arms crossed. "Actually," I said, holding up the HOA guide, "driveway repairs and replacements just have to be neutral-toned and professionally installed, which these are." "They're different," she said, narrowing her eyes. "This neighborhood has a standard look. This neighborhood has cracked driveways," I said. "Now mine looks good." "You'll be hearing from me," she said, spinning on her heel. I figured that meant a formal letter. Instead, 2 days later, I heard sirens outside. I stepped out to find 2 police cruisers parked in front of my house. Karen was already there, gesturing wildly toward my driveway like she'd discovered a crime scene. "There," she shouted. "That's the illegal driveway. It's an HOA violation, and he's refusing to fix it." The officer blinked. "Ma'am, you called 911 for a driveway?" "Yes," she said. "It's an unapproved material. This is vandalism of the community aesthetic. I want him fined, cited. Whatever you can do." The officer turned to me. "Sir, can you explain?" "Yes," I said calmly. "Here's the HOA manual. Pavers are permitted. There's no restriction on the pattern as long as they're neutral, which they are." The contractor pulled all necessary city permits. The officer flipped through the document, then glanced at the clean, tan driveway. "This looks fine to me." Karen gasped. "You're just going to let him ruin our neighborhood?" "Ma'am," the officer said, "this is not a police issue. This is a civil dispute." "But I'm the HOA president," she yelled. "My word is the rules." "No, ma'am," the officer said. "Written guidelines are the rules, and calling 911 for this is misuse of emergency services. You can't just let him get away with this," she cried. The officer handed her a pamphlet about appropriate use of 911. "We can't enforce taste. Please handle this with your HOA board." The neighbors watching from their porches erupted in applause. Someone shouted, "Nice driveway," and I gave a little bow. That night, the video of Karen yelling at the police about my driveway hit the neighborhood group chat. By morning, it was on social media, breaking, "HOA president calls 911 over paver driveway. Police, we can't enforce taste." The comments were merciless. Imagine being this mad about rectangles. Next up, 911 for a decorative mailbox. Her life must be so empty. At the next HOA meeting, residents showed up angry. "You wasted police resources," one said. "You're harassing people for making improvements," another added. "Do you even know what your own rules say?" asked a third. A motion was made to remove her as president. The vote was nearly unanimous. Now, my paver driveway is kind of a neighborhood icon. People slow down to look at it. Not because it's extraordinary, but because it's the driveway that dethroned Karen. And every time I pull in, it feels like parking on pure vindication.